Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Stephen Shorrt. I'm the Managing Director of Intense Marketing and I'm currently on stage 7 of the COD. Today what I wanted to take you through is comfort zones. So when looking at comfort zones, there's 3 different types of zones. You've got comfort zone, your learning zone and your panic zone. And what's really important to understand is that initially, most people start off in their comfort zone. That's where 95% of people, 95% of the population like to stay. In there, it's very comfortable, hence the name. There's no real stress. People are doing things that they're used to doing. They're not being challenged. I like to think of the comfort zone. It's like playing a computer game, but it's your 8th time playing that computer game, and you've already completed 8 times before. It's not very challenging. It's not really that interesting, but it's easy, it's simple. So what's really important as you're progressing in your industry is that you want to keep challenging yourself and pushing yourself and taking yourself out of that comfort zone into your learning zone. And the learning zone feels a bit different. The learning zone, you should feel a little bit nervous. You should have maybe a little bit of a butterfly feeling in your stomach. You should feel like you're a little bit out of your depth. And when you feel that way, and when you feel a little bit challenged, and you feel that things are a little bit hard, well then you'll actually be developing, then you'll actually be learning new skills, and then you'll actually be progressing and actually moving forward with your skill set. So it's really good to get yourself into that learning zone. Understanding this is also really important if you plan to actually coach and develop any other people, because you need to understand how they learn so that you can help guide them through that process. So we want to push ourselves into that learning zone. And the third type of zone that you might hear people talk about is the panic zone. And the panic zone is a bit further outside of that realm. And maybe that's, some people sometimes get themselves into the panic zone and then things are so difficult, they're so challenging, they overload themselves and they find that very stressful, and then they run straight back into the comfort zone and they never want to try anything again. So what's important to understand is that as you're taking on responsibility, keep pushing yourself, get advice off other people, and if they feel you're taking on too much, maybe take that advice on board, because it's important to grow at a steady pace. But nevertheless, be aware, if you do go a little bit too far at your learning zone, you've got to keep learning. You don't want to go back and stay in that comfort zone for too long. You want to keep developing yourself and moving forward. So what type of things can you do to break your comfort zone? Well, it's about pushing yourself. It's about taking yourself to that next level, and it's understanding how to do that. So, for instance, in sales, if you're doing 2 sales a day, it's not going from doing 2 sales a day to 10 sales a day. If you're doing 2 sales a day comfortably, 10 sales a day is probably down here. What you're looking to do is maybe go from 2 sales a day to start learning how to do 3 sales a day, and then from there maybe learning to do 4 sales a day. So it's pushing your goals that little bit higher. It can often be taking on more responsibility. So maybe not coaching anyone before to coaching someone, or to coaching 2-3 people, or to starting to manage and develop and work with a larger team of people. So there's lots of different ways that we can break our comfort zones, and sometimes people think that we should only do it occasionally. You should be doing it all the time. You literally constantly want to be breaking your comfort zones. As I said, I'm on stage 7 of the COD. I'm still breaking my comfort zones every day, because if I'm not challenging myself, then I'm not developing, I'm not learning, I'm not moving forward, and if I'm standing still, pretty soon I'll start moving backwards. So I want to make sure that I'm constantly staying fresh and staying challenged and pushing myself to the next level. My biggest tip for pushing yourself outside of that comfort zone and pushing yourself to break that comfort zone is to make sure that you're networking. Because when we're moving into this zone, sometimes it can feel very difficult and it can feel like it's a bit too hard. But the great thing is that there's lots of people out there that have done it before. So if your goal, for instance, is to do 3 or 4 sales in a day, well, the best thing you can do is go and chat to someone who's already broken that comfort zone maybe 3 months earlier. Go and speak to them, find out how they did it, find out how they're dealing with it, and that makes it seem a lot more possible. Reverting back to, I suppose, an example of playing a computer game, you could be finding a level really challenging, and you might want to throw that computer game away. But if you have some friends that have completed it and said, hey, it just takes a little bit longer to figure out, you're probably going to give it that little bit longer. So